My name is Amber Johnson. I'm 27 years old. I'm a housewife, married for 3 years to my husband, Mark, who was my high school classmate. We had a good relationship and infidelity never came to mind. I never thought that this would be the reason for us to separate. Have a good day, be careful. Are you going to be late today?
Yeah.
My boss invited me out for drinks, so I think I'll be late. As usual, it's okay to go to bed before me. We, as a couple, had clearly divided our roles. My husband worked, and I, a full-time housewife, took care of all the household chores. That day, after sending my husband off, I cleaned the house from corner to corner, as always. However, there was one thing different that day. I cleaned my husband's study. You don't have to clean my study. There are things I use for work, and some things I'd be troubled if they were moved around. Normally, my husband didn't like me entering his study. But that day, the door was left open, and I saw the inside of the study, which was far from clean. Really? I didn't clean it because you promised you'd do it regularly. How can you find anything you use for work in this mess? Can't be helped. I'll just quickly tidy up what I can see. Lately, my husband has been going on more business trips and working on weekends than when we first got married. Given the workload, it seems he no longer had time to clean his study. Seeing the study in such a mess, I decided to clean it, thinking it was for the best. Then, what's this? An unfamiliar diary. While organizing the desk, I found a red diary I had never seen before. I normally don't snoop through my husband's things, but at that moment, I felt an urge to open it and check inside. Despite feeling guilty when I opened the diary. What's this? What does it mean? There was a photo of my husband, holding a baby, looking close and happy with a woman. And why is Kathy in the photo with him? Kathy was a classmate from the same high school as my husband and me. She was a friend I had studied with for 3 years in high school. But she wasn't supposed to have much to do with my husband. Yet, why was she in the photo, holding a child with my husband? Based on their clothes, this looks like a baptism for the baby. Whose child is this? And why is he holding the child? One bad thought after another crossed my mind, and I searched the diary for more clues. Then, I discovered an even more shocking fact. The diary contained the name and birthday of the child in the photo. On dates he said he was on business trips. There were entries about going out with Kathy. It seemed, from the contents of the diary, that the child was undoubtedly his. Why is this happening? How could this happen? At the back of the diary, there was an unmarked brown envelope. Inside the envelope, there was a filled-out divorce form. A divorce form. He's planning to divorce me. After doing something like this, he's been living as if nothing happened. Thinking I didn't know anything and doing as he pleased. I will never forgive this. I'll make him regret it. With that, I vowed revenge against him for his betrayal. However, my husband, unaware of what was happening, came home carefree. I'm home. Man, I'm beat today. Welcome back. You're later than I thought. The boss got pretty drunk. He kept telling me to drink more, and I couldn't get away. Hey, were you really out drinking with your boss? Eh?
Yeah.
But, what? You doubt me? Not doubting you at all. Just thought you're always working so late. Okay, then. Oh. I'll be going on an overnight golf trip with my boss on the 23rd and 24th of this month. Hope that's fine. Overnight? Just you and your boss?
Yeah.
My boss is a guy. You've met him before, Mr. Hathaway, my direct supervisor. He was the one I was drinking with today. There's nothing like what you're suspecting. Fine. What's up with today? You're acting strange. You usually see me off happily. I feel bad making you spend weekends alone all the time. But it's an important part of my job to get on my boss's good side and advance my career. Please forgive me, okay? He spoke to me insincerely like that. But I knew. I knew it was all a lie. According to the dates in the diary, he was supposed to go to an amusement park for the first time with Kathy. So, I decided that day would be the day of my revenge. I thought it would make the despair even deeper after a day filled with happy memories. There's nothing to forgive as I understand your situation. Forget about me, and enjoy yourself without worries.
Yeah.
I'll enjoy myself. But I'll always be thinking about you. I'll buy you a souvenir on my way back, so look forward to it, okay? He said, placing his hand on my head. Okay, I'll be looking forward to it. Then, I'll prepare a surprise for you when you get back. A surprise? I wonder what it is. I'll be looking forward to it. That'll be a surprise for the day. I'm sure you'll be very surprised. About a month passed. I acted as if nothing had happened, continuing to live normally with my husband. And then, the day of action arrived in no time. Then, I'm off. Call me if anything happens. I might not be able to respond immediately since I'll be with my boss. But I'll try to keep an eye on my phone. Okay, got it. Take care. Unaware that I had discovered his deceit, my husband left for the amusement park with an unnecessary golf bag. He probably planned to leave it somewhere, change, and then head to their place. While holding back laughter at my husband's elaborate scheme, I started the final preparations for my revenge. 2 days after he had left, he returned home, noticed my surprise, and called me in a panic. Hey, Amber. Where are you right now? What's with the house? What the hell happened? Hey? Didn't I tell you? I'd prepare something surprising for you when you got back. So, are you surprised? Surprised? Your things are completely gone. It looks like I'm living alone in the house now. Exactly. From now on, you'll be living in that house by yourself. It's not like you're living alone, you are going to live alone. What? What are you saying? We are a couple. A couple? What are you talking about? Don't make me laugh. Since you've been hiding a filled-out divorce form, didn't you want to live alone? Oh, my mistake. Not alone, but you wanted to live with Kathy and that child, right? You didn't find that diary in my study, did you? Sorry, but I saw everything. The photos of you, Kathy, and the child looking so happy together. The entries about lying to me about business trips and working on weekends to go out with her. Every last bit. No. I told you not to go into my study, didn't I? Well, it was such a mess. I thought you wouldn't be able to find anything in there. I thought I was doing a good thing by cleaning it. But it turns out I found something unbelievable. Don't do unnecessary things. We had an agreement not to clean my study. And snooping through someone's things? That's beyond lacking common sense.
Ha!
The one who cheated and even had a child is talking about common sense? That's rich. Sigh. Ridiculous. Ridiculous? Me? You didn't go golfing with your boss today, did you? How was the first trip to the amusement park with the 3 of you? It's the season for special parades now, isn't it? I would have liked to go too. You are joking. The joke's on you, isn't it? You've been deceiving me for over a year now. I never thought you'd do such a thing with a friend from my high school days. That's... It seems I was the only one who thought we were a happy couple these past few years. So, as you wished. I've signed the filled out the divorce form and submitted it to the city hall today. We are no longer husband and wife or anything else. You're free to go back to them or do whatever you want. Wait, just wait a minute. Are you saying you submitted the divorce form while I was away? Yes, but is there a problem? You wanted a divorce, hence the divorce form, right? You even filled out your part and signed it. Since it seemed like you couldn't bring yourself to confront me with a divorce, I did it for you. Returning home with a random souvenir bought at the station to cover up his trip to the amusement park. The now ex-husband was met not by his belongings but by a room emptied of them. And a wife who knew everything, having submitted the divorce papers. This is all my bad. Just come back home, so I can explain. All your bad? As if stating the obvious. There's nothing left to hear from you. Even if we did talk, you'd just make excuses, right? No, that's not. I don't have time to listen to things I'm not interested in. It doesn't matter. Why you cheated, why things turned out this way. It's not worth listening to. But, that's... Do you understand how I felt from the day I found out you wanted to divorce until now? How painful it was to smile at you, acting all innocent, knowing nothing. But it doesn't matter anymore. I found a job and moved to a new place within a month from that day. No matter what excuses you come up with, I won't be coming back to you. You wanted this outcome anyway, so shouldn't you be happy? Why are you panicking so much? Was there a problem with me confronting you with the divorce? No, that's not. By the way, I already contacted your parents just now. They'll probably get in touch soon. What? You told my parents too. Of course. We were a couple, after all. I had to tell them about the divorce. What exactly did you say to them? I told them everything I saw, just as it was. And then what? If you're so concerned about your parents' reaction, why don't you ask them yourself? Ask them myself, there's no way I can. You know how strict my parents are, Amber, right? So what? That's not my problem, is it? Well, that's that. Take care. Hey, wait. Just wait a minute. Amber. Amber. Ignoring his cries, I hung up the phone. My father-in-law, in particular, was a traditionally strict man. He detested dishonesty and had always raised his son with the creed. Do not trouble others, be considerate of others' feelings. Yet, he had betrayed the very principles he was taught. Cheating on his wife with a friend of hers and having a child. Eventually, it seemed his parents contacted him for a discussion, which I had no intention of joining, but for both families, it was a serious matter. Me, him, and both sets of parents convened at his parents' house. In the worst atmosphere, the interrogation, masquerading as a discussion, began. He was already severely reprimanded by his parents, judging by his gaunt appearance as he sat in the chair. Now, what were you thinking? To have a child with another woman while having a wife? Explain everything from the beginning to the end so that everyone can understand. Without defiance, he resignedly began to recount the events that had unfolded. It started 2 years ago, at a high school reunion. That was when I became involved with her. Originally, she was Amber's friend, and I had no connection with her during high school. But that day, she approached me. Long time no see. Do you remember me?
Yeah.
I remember. You're Kathy, Amber's friend, right? I'm glad you remembered. You were at our wedding, too. Right. We didn't really talk much in high school, but I've always admired you, Mark. So, I'm really happy you remember my name. If it's okay, can I have your contact info? Maybe we can go out for a meal sometime? Well, but you're married too, aren't you? Exchanging contacts with the opposite sex while both of us are married feels a bit. Especially since you're Amber's friend. It's only a problem if they find out, right? Everyone does it. You and Amber are too serious. I'm not inviting you to do anything shady. So, let's keep it a secret from Amber and everyone else. Tricked by her words, he began meeting her secretly without my knowledge. Eventually, their relationship turned physical. Actually, I think I'm pregnant. I felt sick and went to the doctor, and they said I'm about 5 weeks along. I'm planning to divorce my husband, and we haven't been intimate, so... So you mean? Yes, this child is yours. To think I could have a child with you, whom I've always admired. I'm so happy. You'll come with me to the next checkup, right? Would you prefer a boy or a girl? What should we name it? Wait, just wait a minute. We're both married, you know. If it gets out that we have a child. Why would you say that? I thought you'd be happy. No, it's not like that. Are you saying you won't take responsibility? Responsibility? To marry me and become this child's father, of course. What other kind of responsibility could there be? But, that's not. I don't intend to divorce my wife. You were the one who said you didn't intend to do anything wrong, right? Yet here we are, in this mess. It's so troubling to hear you say that. You knew what you were getting into when we started this relationship, didn't you? Was everything just a game to you? I was ready to divorce my husband for you. This is terrible, just too terrible. If you don't take responsibility, I don't know what I'll do. I'll expose everything to Amber, our classmates, and everyone at work. I'll never forgive you. Okay. Just calm down, please. So, you'll divorce Amber and marry me? All right. I will. Thus, he was coerced into agreeing to the birth of the child. And he began preparing to divorce me, as he recounted. Do you even realize what you've done? I do. But what choice did I have? She said she didn't know what she'd do if I didn't take responsibility. What was I supposed to do? I had no other choice. No other choice? Are you kidding me? Sure, Kathy may have approached you first. But if you had firmly refused from the start, none of this would have happened, right? You're also responsible for engaging in a physical relationship. After being tempted by Kathy. Why are you trying to put all the blame on Kathy and escape responsibility? I'm not trying to escape anything. Just what? If you have something to say, then say it clearly. I never wanted to divorce you. I was just threatened by Kathy. I never thought about divorce at all. I didn't want to prepare that divorce form. Believe me, Amber. You're the only one for me. Oh. I never intended to divorce. Really? Are you serious? Of course, I'm serious. I know I'm responsible for the child. So, I was planning to pay for the child's education from my own salary. But it's not Kathy I want to be with, it's you, Amber. I want to continue our life together. Please, let's start over. He begged. However, I knew there was still something he was hiding. Then what's this? I presented a brown envelope in front of everyone. What is this? This is an envelope I found in his study when I entered. I thought it was unrelated because it was placed in a different location from the divorce form. But when I looked inside, I was shocked. It was a fabricated proof of me cheating, designed to make it look like I was having an affair. What? It seems he hired a detective agency to fabricate evidence of my infidelity. The envelope contained the receipt and a business card. His claim of not wanting to divorce me was completely false. He lied to get through this situation. Right? What's the meaning of this? Why would you do such a thing? That is... Mark, isn't it time you stopped hiding things? It will all come out eventually. Please, just come out with the truth. Cornered and with nowhere to escape, Mark began to reveal the truth. Honestly, before the child was born, I truly hadn't considered divorcing Amber. But after the child was born, and I saw my child's face, I started thinking I wanted to live with Kathy and the child. And when it came time to bring up divorce, I didn't know how to tell Amber. Just saying I wanted a divorce would surely lead to questions about why. Claiming irreconcilable differences would obviously be a lie since we've been getting along fine until now. And telling the truth was out of the question. I couldn't face Amber or our parents after that. So, No, that's not it. The main reason isn't that. You didn't want to pay me property division for cheating, right? That's why you wanted to make it look like I was the one who cheated and pushed for a divorce. No, that's not. It's right, is it? You wanted to claim property division from me, using that money to live happily with the three of you, didn't you? Is that wrong? To go to such lengths. I can't believe this. What are you saying? I would never do such a thing. Then why were you so panicked when I quietly submitted the divorce form? Because you couldn't confront me with the fabricated evidence of cheating you paid for, right? Then, you wouldn't be able to claim property division, would you? That's... too bad for you. You were planning to live happily with the money from me, weren't you? Did you think I wouldn't find out? So, I am. If you can argue back, then do so. I have all the evidence needed. So no matter what counterargument you present, I'm confident I can refute it. So, please, try anything. He became unable to offer any rebuttal and remained silent, his head bowed. It seems there's nothing left for you to say. Then, I have this for you. What is this? It's obviously a claim for property division. I had a lawyer prepare it in advance. I was planning to send it, but since we're having this discussion, it worked out. He hesitantly reviewed the claim for property division. What, $40,000? How can an affair of just about 2 years warrant such a high property division? What do you think you did in those 2 years? Married people making a child. What do you mean just? Enough with the underestimation. But $40,000 is a lot of money I can't possibly pay. With a child on the way, there's just no way. That's not my concern. I believe the money for the child and the property division I'm owed are two separate matters. If you're worried about not having money for the child, then find it somewhere else. What is that supposed to mean? You're telling me to take out loans? I didn't say that. But that's how unrelated it is to me. You really are heartless. $40,000. You're kidding. Kidding, you say. You're the one who needs to stop joking around. This is all the result of your own actions. Exactly, just as Amber said. The child's expenses and the property division are completely different issues. Using the child as an excuse not to pay property division is utterly absurd. But, enough with the buts. There's only one thing you need to do. Pay the property division to Amber and apologize sincerely. That's no excuses. If you say you can't, we're done as a family. We didn't raise you to be like this. Leave right now. Faced with his father's roar, he was completely disheartened. He admitted to the affair and agreed to pay the property division. But, of course, there was still something left for me to do. That was to seek revenge on Kathy, my friend who was his affair partner. Immediately, I sent a certified mail to Kathy to claim property division for the affair, just like I did with him. But, knowing Kathy, who approached him despite being aware he was married, it was unlikely she would comply easily. A few days later, after receiving the certified mail, Kathy called me with complaints. I've heard everything from him. So our affair has been completely exposed, huh? But isn't it strange to demand property division from me too? Especially such a large amount. Why? What's strange about it? You knew he was married and still started a relationship. So it's natural you're being asked for property division. Natural? But I have his child. So what? Whether you two raise a child together has nothing to do with this, right? It's not unrelated. You might not understand since you don't have children, but raising a child is really hard. And now we have to work together to raise this child. I don't have the money to pay you property division. And? So, that's why I'm saying you should withdraw the property division claim. Why is society so harsh on the parenting generation? If you don't have children, at least support those who are raising them. After all, it's your fault he cheated because you didn't keep him close enough. Don't put all the blame on me. You really have the nerve to say that. And what's this about being harsh on the parenting generation? You're completely off topic. I just want to say, look, I've heard everything from him too. You pressured him into marriage because you were pregnant. Threatening him you won't know what you'll do if he didn't take responsibility. And after all that, you're objecting to the property division claim? That's the real absurdity here. Or are you still going to insist you did nothing wrong? I thought we were friends. You even came to my wedding. Why did you do this? Because I couldn't help it. I liked him even before you started dating him. And then you started dating him, and eventually got married. Seeing you two so happy at your wedding, I thought I'd give up. But then, at the reunion 2 years ago, I couldn't hold back my feelings anymore, and so you approached him, and when you got pregnant, you pressured him into marriage. Sigh. We're already divorced, so do whatever you want. Actually, it's not my place to say anything anymore. Go ahead and get married or whatever. But since you were involved with him while we were still married, you should properly take responsibility for that. Kathy couldn't say anything more, and ended up not speaking a single word until she hung up the phone. However, perhaps my words had an effect, as she later accepted the property division claim and agreed to make the payments. Both my ex-husband and she have been faithfully paying the property division every month. But after that, I never had any contact with them again. Months passed, and just as I was getting used to life in a new place, I unexpectedly ran into my former mother-in-law while shopping. From her, I learned about what happened to him afterward. Former mother-in-law, actually, after that, the two of them got remarried. But, you'll be surprised to hear that the child wasn't my son's. What? She wanted to marry my son so badly that she lied about the child being his. As the child grew, it became clear he didn't resemble my son at all. After a secret paternity test, when confronted, she confessed the child was her previous husband's. Turns out, the child in the photo wasn't his but her previous husband's. My ex-husband had been completely duped by her scheme. She thought if she claimed to have his child, she could steal him away, even from a marriage. Well, she did manage to take him away, but now their life is a living hell. She insists on not wanting a divorce, and my son is furious. It's escalated to a divorce trial. That's unbelievable. But it's his own doing. Though he was deceived, the affair was real. Neither my husband nor I support our son in this. It's karma for betraying his wife. it's a deserved outcome. Sorry for bringing up such a topic here. I just had to tell you when I saw you. Forget about such a foolish son and find your happiness." With that, my former mother-in-law left. Sharing this story with me was her way of showing kindness. I never met with the former in-laws or my ex-husband again. What kind of life he leads now is beyond me, and no longer any of my concern.